Okay, we've got some questions here which are asking us to find the circumference of the following circles. Now, if we're going to find the circumference of a circle, we have a rule. The rule being, C, I've just got to get my pen going here, C is equal to pi d, where d equals the diameter, or C equals 2 pi r, where r is the radius. And to know what the circumference and the radius are, if we have a circle, then the distance from one side to the other through the centre is known as the diameter, and the distance from the centre to anywhere on the outside of the circle is the radius. So if we look at these two questions that we have, firstly we have this one here where we're given the diameter for the circle. Okay, so to work out A, we use the diameter version of the equation, which is the top one, C equals pi d. Pi we use as 3.14 times by the diameter from this question is 24, and that will be equal to, throw that into a calculator, and that's 75.36. 36. The units for this question are centimetres. We need to use those in the answer. So the answer will be 75.36 centimetres. Now for part B, or the second question here, in that question we are given a radius of a circle. So we need to use the radius version of the circle equation, or the circumference equation, which is over there, C equals 2 pi r, okay, which is equal to 2 multiplied by pi, we use 3.14, times by the radius from the question is 5. And if we multiply those through, we'll end up with 31.4. And from the question, we have metres as the unit, so metres goes into the answer. Okay, so you might have thought to yourself, I could take the radius and just double it to get the diameter, and that's correct. So if we had have doubled the radius, we would have been given a diameter of 10. And we could have used that in the first equation, and that would be fine. The reason that we use the second equation is that this 2 times by r, I'm doing this on the right hand side, so 2 times by r is just equal to d. So it is the same equation, but it's just two different versions of it. So we have a diameter type question, C equals pi d, and a radius type question, C equals 2 pi r. And that should be enough for you to go on with these questions. We might just do one more example. Now for this particular question, we're asked to find the perimeter of the shape below. Now what we need to do is identify the easy parts of the question. So the bits we know, we've got a straight line at the top here, and we also have a half a circle. So we break this question up into two parts. First we need to find the half circle bit. Well, that's the only thing we really need to do, is find out the half circle. What we are given is a full circle. Oh, sorry, we're given a half a circle, but it's sort of like a full circle with a diameter of 12. So if we were going to work out the full circle, the circumference of the full circle, C would be equal to pi d. Because we only need half of the circle, then our length around the half circle would be a half times by pi d. In our case here, it's going to be a half times by pi is 3.14 times by the diameter of 12. And if we throw that into the calculator, that bit there would be equal to 18.84. The units from the question is centimetres, so we need to keep using centimetres here. Didn't look like an M very good, but never mind. Okay, so that's the half circle bit there. So for the perimeter, what we need to do is we have the distance of the half circle plus the line at the top. That line doesn't look very good, does it? We're still in holiday mode here, so my brain's got to start working again. Better. So the perimeter is equal to the half circle plus the line. We've already worked out the half circle is equal to 18.84 plus the line part at the top was 12. We add those together and we'll end up with 30.84, and the units are centimetres. That's how you do that question. So you should now be able to go on with the circumference questions and revision. You'll notice that there are some questions which is like 3/4 of a circle or a quarter of a circle. So if you have a quarter of a circle question, then what you would do is instead of the half there, you would use a quarter. If it was 3/4 of a circle, then you would have 3/4 multiplied by whatever. And to do a half on a calculator, it's just 1 divided by 2. If you have 3/4 on a calculator, it's 3 divided by 4. So that should be able to help you out with those questions. All right, have fun.